Hello everyone, this is a video on how to solve that breakout exercise that we were supposed to have during last class for chapter 16. And in this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out how many workers do we need to hire in order to maximize profit. And what I've done here is I've given you the number of workers, output, how output changes as we hire more workers. And what you need to do is you need to figure out the workers' MPP, productivity, and then all of the costs, and then the value of marginal product labor. Sometimes this is just also called MRP. So this, if I use my pen here, this right here is also MRP. Okay? So let me just erase that. Okay, so let's do it. So first what we got to do is figure out, so the profit maximization rule is going to be wage equals MRP. And in this case, we're using VMPL. So I could just do this. I could just say or VMPL. These two are the same. I apologize for using different terms, but that's what we had in this example. So the price of the product is $5 right there. And the wage we pay the workers is 15. So let's figure out the marginal physical product for each worker. And that's going to be the change in output over the change in labor. Now the change in labor is just one at a time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say equals this minus this. And I'm going to autofill that down. I'm just going to do one more. Equals this minus this. And then I'm going to autofill that down. And now we've got MPP for all the workers. Now, the VMPL is going to be, or MRP, that is going to be, let me write that down for you. It's going to be, so MRP or VMPL, which is the same thing, this is going to equal VMPL equals MPP times the price of the product. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say equals MPP right there, and I'm going to multiply it by the price of the product, which is going to be $5, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing here for the second worker times $5, and then I'm going to autofill that down. Okay, that's a VMPL. Now let's figure out our costs. The total cost here is 30, and we know a total cost at an output rate of zero is fixed cost. So that's 30 right there. And we know fixed cost doesn't change. So we're going to fill that all the way down. Now, variable cost is going to be total cost minus fixed cost. Got that one down. Okay, for the variable cost, that's going to have, we're going to figure that out by multiplying the number of workers times the wage. That's going to be 15, right? Because the wage is right here, 15. I'm going to do the same thing here. Number of workers, which is 2, times the wage, 15. And then I'm going to autofill that down. And total cost is going to be simply variable costs plus fixed costs. Do it one more time. Variable costs plus fixed costs. and autofill this down. Okay, now marginal cost is the change in total cost when you it's a change in total cost over the change in output. So let me just write that down. Marginal cost equals change in total cost over the change in output. So let's figure that out. It's going to be, the first part is going to be the change in total cost, which is going to be this minus this over the change in output, which is going to be this minus this, close parentheses. I'm going to do it one more time, equals the change in total cost, which is going to be this minus this divided by the change in output, which is going to be this minus this. And then I'm going to autofill that down. Okay, that's marginal cost. Now, we can now figure out how many workers we hire. We figure that out by finding where wage equals MRP. So the wage is 15, and to help us out, I'm just going to put 15 all the way down here. 15. And I'm going to compare it. Now you can see here at an output with the first worker's VMPL is 20, and that's greater than the wage. So we hire that worker. That means that worker contributed to output. What about the second worker? Same thing. VMPL is greater than 15. Same thing with the third worker. Same thing with the fourth worker. Same thing with the fifth worker. Same thing with the sixth worker. Now look at the seventh worker. The seventh worker, the VMPL is less than the wage, which means if we hire this worker, the seventh worker, profits will fall. Well, that means profits are maximized when we hire the sixth worker. And that's the answer to the question here, is how many workers do you hire to maximize profit? You would hire 6. You hire up to the point where MRP equals wage, or in this case, VMPL equals wage. And we couldn't find an exact equality, right? But we don't hire a worker when the VMPL is less than the wage, because that means profits are falling. So then we just back up 1 from 7 to 6, and that's how many workers we hire.